first night celebration to ring in the new year in the capital city a couple of nights ago. Tonight, the first basketball night of the year. Our UConn women's broadcast on SNY brought to you by the Connecticut Lottery. The #1 ranked Husky team arriving at the XL Center a couple of hours ago. Tonight, continuing their quest for perfection in this season and in conference play as they take on the visiting Wichita State Shockers in for a matchup tonight to visit the Huskies for just the third time ever. And hi, everybody, and Happy New Year with Megan Como, Alan Bestwick. So here we are turning the calendar. And this Huskies team that there were so many questions about before the start of the campaign are 10-0 and ranked #1 in the nation. Who or what got them to this point?
Wow, I don't know what got them to #1, that's for sure. But, I mean, let's think about Megan Walker and what she has done thus far this season. The kid, listen, she's always had the ability, always had the talent. Mentally, she decided, this is my team, I am doing this. So there's so many different ways that she can score. She can penetrate to the basket, shoots the ball well from the long range. 47% from three-point range she is shooting. But you know what, Alan, she's not alone. She's got Olivia Nelson-Ododa, who is so improved, so much stronger from last year. She simply changes the game with her presence on the defensive end. Her timing is impeccable. Her anticipation and yet her patience on the offensive end has also been outstanding.
And two of the players that Gino Auriemma said must step up for this Huskies team to maintain its level of excellence this year have stepped up. To continue to improve heading toward March, the ultimate goal, who has to step up more than they have so far?
Well, you know, you got to look at the freshmen coming in, Griffin and Makarat. The two of them have played tremendously in spurts. They need them to be more consistent. But as a team, they've also got to be more consistent. And they've got to put together 2 quarters in one game and then build on it game after game. You can't play great for 20 minutes and then not, you know, good for 10 and not. You got to play great for 20 minutes, 40 minutes in a row, and then they'll be better in March.
All right, well, tonight the opponent to play great for 40 minutes are the Wichita State Shockers. UConn 2-0 against them. Started the season against Cal at Gampel Pavilion. Won that one and haven't lost yet. The 10-0 #1 ranked Huskies against Wichita State, who look to, pun intended, shock the basketball world. Next. And a nice moment at center court at XL Center just a moment ago when Kristen Williams and Olivia Nelson-Ododa were recognized for their part in Team USA, winning gold at the 3x3 Pan American Games competition this summer. Gino Auriemma representing USA basketball. And his 2 young pupils doing a fine job. And that competition helping drive their games forward from this summer.
Yeah, I think it helps them to become better passers, better cutters, moving without the ball. It's a great thing USA basketball's doing.
Right, while the lineup's being introduced, a look at them now, presented by Subaru. Same starting 5 for UConn on the right, as have been for the majority of the season. Kyla Irwin in with the core 4, as dubbed. Dangerfield, Williams, Walker, and Nelson-Ododa. For the Wichita State Shockers, same starting lineup they've used for the last few games now. Featured players in this one, Carla Bremaw, who was an absolute freshman find for them a year ago, and Mariah McCulley, a transfer in, who is their leading scorer, #2, and certainly one to watch for the Shockers in this one. Shockers with the long trip in. Huskies looking to maintain their perfection, not only in this season, but in American Conference play. We'll get into the heart of conference play now. Of course, just the second conference game of the season for UConn. They had that outlier game against Temple back the 3rd game of the season. Gino's back. After missing the Oklahoma game, his surgery from the diverticulitis, Gino telling us earlier today he feels good, had a lot of energy to him, and was ready to go to lead his team tonight. All right, let's check in with Maria Marino, whose report tonight is brought to you by Chevy. Hello, Maria.
Hello, Alan. So sophomore Olivia Nelson-Ododa knew coming into this season that she would have to make a massive jump in terms of her role, and she has come a long way in a few notable ways. And the first one being understanding the offensive system, whereas this time last year, she was pretty confused. She said she feels much stronger and more confident posting up and finishing at the rim, but said she still needs to improve. And lastly, her and her coaches, especially Chris Daly, have worked a lot on avoiding foul trouble by using her length without leaving her feet. That's the key for her.
Certainly something to keep an eye on tonight for Olivia against a team that plans on being very aggressive against the Huskies.
They will. And, you know, Maria alluded to Chris Daly there and what she did. You know, you can't give Chris Daly enough credit. She is all about process and consistently every day has worked with Olivia and is a big factor in why Olivia is playing as well as she is.
Ready to go, UConn in the home gray uniforms with the national flag blue trim and numerals. Wichita State in the black and gold on the road. Huskies win the tip. Nelson Adona right to the bucket. Can't get it to fall. Bremal with the rebound. 12 for Wichita State.
That would have made us look like we know what we're talking about.
Seraphine Baston hands the ball off. Gets it back. She's the ball handler. Tries the little give and go. Cut off well by the length and height inside for UConn. Good move to the basket by Shia Smith. And the Shockers get the first points. And to get first foul as Nelson Adona tried to turn toward the bucket. Raven Prince got a hold of her.
Well, Wichita State is aggressive defensively. They will pressure the ball, pressure the passing lanes.
Coach Keitha Adams telling us that was the plan for tonight. Put pressure on the ball and be aggressive to try and hang with the Huskies.
Nice screen.
For three. That one a little short. There's Baston running. Bremal for three. Got it. And a hot start for Wichita State. We were curious if the Huskies would have any rust from the long layoff. Only one game in the last 16 days for UConn. They haven't played since December 22nd. Well, Wichita State had quite a busy itinerary over the holidays. Megan Walker on the cut. And that one won't go. Back iron. Unlucky.
I guess you can call this rust. Getting pretty good shots, just can't get him to trot.
Mariah McCulley. From the outside, Smith again with a three. And the Shockers race out to an early 8-0 lead.
Smith had 3 threes all season coming into this game.
Inside, Nelson Adona met in the lane, and she'll draw the foul.
You know, Wichita not known for a team to jack up a lot of threes, but you gotta love Smith's form. She caught that ball and just let it go.
Here's a look at Keitha Adams, head coach of the Shockers. Folks here wearing the blue, wanting someone to take the lid off that basket so they can sit down. There they go. and as one, they reach for the seats.
Yeah, a lot of happy people right now.
Yeah, not often it's 2 minutes into the game before UConn gets its first bucket. So 8-1 Wichita State. That is going to be off of Kristen Williams and will remain in the hands of the Shockers. They'll have 17 to shoot. So hot start for Wichita State, particularly from outside. 2 for 2 from long range, 3 for 3 overall from the floor. Shockers a team that shoots 41% on the season. Another one goes. That's Mariah McCulley with her first bucket on the night.
Really good patience there by the junior point guard. A nice pump fake to get the shot blocker, Nelson Adona, off her feet.
Inside, just a little too tall for Walker, and a turnover on the Huskies.
You know, when you know there's a shot blocker there, that's the best thing to do. Ball fake and step through.
McCulley wearing number 2, first in points per game for the team. She did not play the first couple of games of this season after getting her transfer cleared and ready to go. First year with Wichita State. She has the ball now. Into traffic. Turnover. Crystal Dangerfield. Kristen Williams inside. Nelson Adota with a size matchup. Missed the first one. Missed the second one. Walker fouled as she goes up with the third.
And that's the stuff that frustrates Gino Auriemma. As happy as he was to come back to coach his team. Here, good patience. Go baseline because you felt the defense on the high side, yet you can't finish. And that's the stuff that makes coaches crazy.
First sub of the game, Ashley Curvin into the game.
And he was just saying back cut and move. You know, one of the problems this team has gotten into is getting stagnant offensively, and everyone kind of looking around for someone else to do it.
Well, and I also think if you look at the scores from the first couple of UConn games of the year and what the scores have been in the last few, there's something to the long layoff. Shooting in practice is one thing. Shooting in a game against an energetic opponent is another.
Absolutely.
7-point lead for the Shockers. McCulley high off the glass. Nelson Adota will knock that one out of bounds as she fought with Curvin for the rebound. Shockers ball 17 to shoot. McCulley. Walker with good defense all the way to the rim.
They'll kept her hands up, good body, good footwork.
So Dangerfield will reset. And the UConn offense tries to go to work to cut into the 7-point deficit. Walker can't get the corner on Baston. Outside to Dangerfield. 10 to shoot. Irwin had it knocked away as she tried to get it inside to Nelson Adota.
That's that pressure defense. You got to throw ball fakes.
Good defense by Williams to stop Greenlaw from getting the shot off. She drives the baseline. Strong right hand knocked away. Nelson Adota to Williams. Kristen just can't get that one to go down.
There is a lid on the basket.
0 for 6 from the floor for the Huskies. All 3 of their points from the free throw line at this point in the game.
That's when you got to ratchet things up defensively when you're struggling on offense.
Nelson Adota with the steal. Williams inside to Nelson Adota. Outside to Megan for 3.
It's a long time coming, that 3.
First made field goal of the game, almost halfway through this opening quarter for UConn. Pressure on the ball. Pressure broken all the way inside to Curvin. She gets it in before Kyla Irwin could get there for defensive help.
I think I took a little risk there, and Wichita State made him pay.
Megan Walker. Here is Seraphine Baston, handles the ball. For Wichita State, feeds it off to Curvin. That one too strong. Irwin knocks the rebound out to Walker. UConn obviously trying to feed Nelson Adota inside. Foul on the floor, and Olivia draws another. Well, it took a little while for UConn to get their first one from the floor to go, but it was Megan Walker from long range. But the Wichita State Shockers come in as big underdogs. They have a lead in this opening quarter. 4 to go first quarter. Wichita State with a 12-6 lead on UConn here in Hartford. Let's take a look at Como's Court Vision, brought to you by Yale New Haven Health. What are you drawing up there, Meg?
So Wichita State's coach, Keith Adams, said it. They're going to pressure defense. Okay, so there's the 5 defenders, right? Okay. Offense starts. Hand it off to Walker. As she goes down, watch this. The defense comes over. Okay, there's 2 defenders on her right now. Now she's going to kick it out. Defense gets back. Okay, now watch. As the ball gets into the lane. Well, bad pass, number 1, because this kid did a good job defensively. The ball goes in, and then that kid just steps right in front and steals the ball. Because that's what their pressure defense will do, and you can't be lazy with the ball.
Huskies trail by 6. Kristen Williams draws the foul, driving the lane. The number that stands out the most to me through this opening quarter, 1 of 8 from the floor for UConn. Call it holiday rust, call it what you want. Call it pressure defense by the Shockers. But the UConn not shooting the ball well in the opening part of this game. Anna Makarat into the game for UConn. Olivia Nelson-Adoda is getting the first rest. And the foul, let's see.
13, Kristen Williams.
Yeah, that's 5 team fouls now for the Shockers. Kristen Williams going to go and shoot free throws.
They have a propensity of fouling,
yes,
as we talked about before the game. So look for UConn to get 2 free throws now on every foul. That's a non-shooting foul.
Yeah, coming into the game tonight, Wichita State has committed 258 fouls on the season to 99 for UConn. Now, part of that is the style that they play. There's a little, I'll call it orchestrated chaos involved in the way that Keitha Adams Shockers go about it. Now UConn going to try a little ball pressure here. Seraphine Baston, one of 4 international players on this Shocker squad, handles the ball. Now here's McCullough. Oh, trying a little razzle-dazzle, but it goes out of bounds instead of landing in the hands of Asia Henderson. Turnover to UConn. Irwin. Nice speed to Dangerfield. Oh, the back flip. Worked for UConn. And going to be a foul on Makarat.
Well,
as she flipped that pass off, she ran into McCulley.
And the problem was Makarat did the right thing from the right side, cut back door, but then when she went through, it was her defender that stepped in and stopped Crystal Dangerfield. And then at the end, she tried to drive and got caught with the charge.
McCulley inside, wide open. Henderson missed the layup. Walker drives and draws the foul.
I thought for sure they were going to call a charge, that she lowered her right shoulder. I think the block is the right call. So watch as she goes down. She does lower her shoulder there. I thought for sure that was going the other way.
Feet were still moving on the part of the defender, though. She never got set at all. So McCulley will go to the bench and take a breather for Wichita State. Ashley Reed, a senior from Wichita Falls, Texas, wearing 5, comes in. And Megan Walker closes the deficit to 2 for the Huskies.
And that's 2 fouls on McCulley, which is a big loss for Wichita State to not have her for the rest of this first half.
Wide open Reed. Couldn't make the shot go. Rebound Williams. Dangerfield runs. Now we'll set. Irwin. Nope. Williams flies in for the rebound. To Makarat.
Give credit to Kristen Williams for snagging the offensive rebound. Great hustle and effort.
Kristen has talked about some of the shooting maybe not falling the way she was used to a year ago, particularly the long-range shooting from 3, so she's contributing in other ways. Well, that's one of them on the glass. Brewer misses from outside. Good hustle rebound by Dangerfield. Williams loses control. Body's on the floor, but the ball in the hands of Dangerfield with a wide-open 3.
Way downtown.
And a quick timeout call by Keitha Adams in Wichita State as UConn takes the lead for the first time.
How about that? Number 13, you see there, Kristen Williams coming in there from the weak side to rebound, and then the nifty dish to Makarat. And then good hustle diving. Dangerfield says, why not?
Crystal capping a 9-0 UConn run over the last just less than 2 minutes of game time. And the Huskies now out in front by 3. So overcoming the cold shooting start to the ball game. Leading scorer for the Huskies is, surprise, Megan Walker with 8.
I'm not surprised he started the game cold. You know what I mean? Because we've talked about the long layoff. This is always a difficult game.
The one game in 16 days. Offensive foul.
And those are the plays that Kyla Irwin makes. She steps in. It's not the first charge she's taken this season. That's just knowing where the ball is and getting to the spot and being tough enough to take the hit.
I might feel that one on the chin for a little bit.
You'd feel it a lot more if it was a block.
Yeah. Williams a little short, trying to get to the rim.
Don't forget she's left-handed.
There's Baston on the run, defended by Makarat. 3 more. Smith. Try to go up and under. Irwin was there. Williams with the rebound. Megan Walker will go for 3 and make it. When Megan Walker has time to stop, look around, check where the defense might be coming from behind, and then get the rangefinder going, that's probably not a good recipe if you're the defender. 6-point Husky lead.
That proves how hard it is to guard her, though. If you run at her, she's going to drive right by you.
Remo unlucky on that one. And here comes Dangerfield running to Williams. Makarat, Dangerfield, back inside to Walker. No. In tight traffic, draws the foul. And Megan Walker continuing to wreak some havoc on the Wichita State team in this now 12-0 run for UConn.
I mean, they've been missing layup after layup, but you have to give her credit for staying with it, being persistent, and not giving up.
What do you think of, early in the game, UConn was very much trying to push the ball inside to Olivia Nelson-Adota. Now she's been on the bench here for this last little bit of this first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, now they got to go to a different option. And as Gino was saying earlier, back cut, let's get some movement. It's a little bit easier to do that with her on the bench. So get the ball going side to side, lots of movement. Because again, as we've said, that's something that they have struggled with this season.
Aaron pass. Reed intended for Greenlaw. Ball out of bounds. Under the broadcaster's table. We'll give it back.
And those are the turnovers, though, that are just mind-numbing as a coach. It wasn't even like UConn was pressuring that much. Those are the ones that drive you crazy.
So shot clock off. Now 20 seconds to go in this opening quarter. Kristen Williams had it knocked away from her. Now 7.8 to go.
I think it would do a lot for UConn's confidence as they've struggled this game. There you go. To get a good play off this break was what I was trying to say. If it wouldn't have taken me so long.
Crystal Dangerfield cuts away, loses the defender, and the Huskies will end this quarter on a 16-0 run after falling behind 8-1 to start the game.
I thought that was a big confidence booster for them to execute, get what they wanted. Wichita State caught sleeping. Nice job by the Huskies to capitalize with a big lead at the end of this quarter.
As we get ready for the second quarter, Megan Walker was the show in the last part of that first one, huh, Maria?
That's right. She had 5 rebounds in that first quarter as well. And Walker has been making a conscious effort to rebound in addition to her scoring. She's not necessarily trying to get double-doubles, though she has in the last 3 straight games. But she says the stats have just come naturally. On defense, her mindset is just, I want that ball, in hopes of running in transition. While on offense, she's trying to get her and her teammates more chances for easy buckets, Alan.
Megan Walker had 13 points in the first quarter. The rest of the UConn team had 9. 10-point lead for the Huskies as we start the second. Megan Como, Maria Marino with you. XL Center in Hartford. Olivia Nelson-Adota making her presence back on the floor announced.
Yeah, again, knowing where the ball is, good footwork, nice timing, left-handed shot, right-handed block.
Olivia 4th in the nation in block shots and 2nd in the nation in blocks per game entering the night. McCulley back on the floor, 2 as well. Misses the shot. Nelson-Adota with the rebound. Williams on the run out. That shot wouldn't go, but Markarat with a good follow and a reset for the Huskies. Dangerfield wide open. Got it.
Quietly, Crystal Dangerfield lighting it up from outside.
22 and 19 points in the last 2 games for the leader of this Husky squad, Crystal Dangerfield. Now the long dry spell continues for Wichita State. Too much inside. Shyla Smith had the ball knocked away. Here's Williams. Sees the contact coming, altered the shot, knocked away. It'll stay with UConn, though.
Going up and getting that rebound. Impressive that she didn't get called for the offensive foul going over the back, but I think it's because Wichita State really didn't box out.
Anna just back from a somewhat unexpected trip home for the holidays to Poland. Sieradkowice, Poland, is how she says she pronounces her hometown. It's not the easiest place to get to from Connecticut, but got a chance to go back because of the schedule that saw the Huskies able to give their team a 5-day break over the holidays. So
unusual, and I'm so happy for that kid that she got to go home. Long ride, long flight rather, there and back, but worth it.
Nelson-Adota missed the 2nd of the free throws, rebounded by Shyla Smith. Here come the Shockers. This is Brewer. Off the mark, short, rebound, Dangerfield.
Wichita State doesn't want to get into coming up and jacking up a shot quickly.
And a foul will be called on Maya Brewer. And so Huskies will get the ball here with 28 on the shot clock. So now 1, 2, 3, 4 players from Wichita State with 2 fouls already as Nelson-Adota gets the great feed on the great cut.
Tremendous pass from Walker. We'll give credit to Nelson-Adota too on the nice back cut.
UConn looking to apply its own pressure on the ball. Baston tries to feed underneath to Kervin. It's a little too hot to handle. The Huskies will take over. Travel call.
UConn doing a good job of spacing things out, back cutting.
What a pass.
I mean, tremendous pass. We talk a lot about her offense.
Yeah.
Perhaps not enough about her ability to dish the ball. 34 assists on the season, leads this team.
So Aubrey Griffin, 44 into the game. Markarat out for UConn. Last field goal for Wichita State was with 4:52 to go in the first quarter. Megan Walker with the knockaway.
Yeah, great help defense.
Griffin inside, Nelson-Adota works. Unfriendly roll. Look at Megan Walker through the lane. Try to get Griffin on the cut. Couldn't handle the pass. 2-on-1. And that will fall gently for Seraphine Bastion, the sophomore from Belgium. 2nd on the team in rebounds, 1st on the team in assists, 23. for Wichita State.
Yeah, Basson is a complete player. She's involved in all aspects of the game for Wichita State.
Dangerfield. Back iron. Nelson Agoda with the long rebound, but knocked away as she tried to feed it back into the paint.
Yeah, an ill-advised pass.
Baston too strong. Williams with the rebound. Seemed like Wichita State's packing a lot of players back into the paint when the ball goes in there. Everybody's collapsing in quickly. Got to be an out pass there somewhere. There's Griffin. Williams. For three, back iron, but Griffin in with a rebound. Can't get the ball as she tries to go back up again, trying to go through two players there. And the Shockers come back, trailing by 14.
Really good offensive rebound, though, by the freshman Griffin. Never a bad idea to try to go back up with it. You'd think they may call a foul.
There's Bremaw from outside for three. Carla Bremaw, last year made the all-freshman team in the American. Spent summer playing in France with the French national under-20 team. One of the leaders of this Wichita State outfit. Inside Nelson Agoda. Good ball movement. Dangerfield high glass it in.
A really good offensive sequence. The ball goes into Nelson Agoda. She didn't have anything. Kicked it out to the perimeter, passed it around, dribble penetrate. That's really good offense.
Dangerfield's hits double figures with 10 points. Baston with the stop and drop into the lane. Curvin couldn't handle it. Rebound UConn.
Well, Nelson Agoda always a threat to block a shot.
Wow. The long pass almost knocked away. Curvin went for it. It got through to Nelson Agoda, who put it in.
And I give Crystal Dangerfield the credit because she skipped past that ball over because of what was going on in the low post. We'll show you later.
Curvin takes steps as she tried to draw the foul on Griffin with the lean-in into the lane. Timeout as we hit 4:48 to go in the second quarter. UConn started slowly. They have raced out to a big lead on the hands of great ball movement. Wichita State led this game at one point by 9 points. Now it's a 15-point UConn lead with 4:48 to go in this second quarter.
You know, Alan, we hear so much about Walker's offense. How about her defense? Here's Megan Walker on the defensive end. Okay, let's see how this goes. Underneath, out of bounds. She switches there. She's guarding this guy there. A bigger player. Okay, still on her. Now the ball comes into low post. She's using her body, using her feet. Grabs the rebound. Really good defensive sequence. Now she's up here on the perimeter. Okay, good footwork. Now watch her head constantly moving on a swivel. Okay, she sees her player. Now they switch. Good communication. She goes back out to her player on the wing. But look, she's always looking at the ball, right? Now look at everyone's looking at the golden ticket right there. That's the ball. That's the only thing that can score. Great help off of the ball there to create that steal. Really good defense by Megan Walker, not just an offensive player.
Megan Walker leading UConn in points per game, rebounds per game, three-point shooting, and minutes per game, by the way. She has the ball in her hands now, feeds into Kyla Irwin, into the game for Nelson Agoda. That shot won't go. Makaron also back into the game for Aubrey Griffin. Vendela Danielson, 31, into the game for Wichita State. Megan Prince, 13, also in for the Shockers.
Irwin thought about it.
She had a look. She thought about it and then thought again.
Yeah, good decision. She knows her role. After a couple passes in the offense, then she takes it. Not when it's the first option.
Crystal Dangerfield.
That's always a good option, right?
I'm telling you. 5 of 7 from the floor. She's up to 12 points. Megan Walker has 13. Leading scorer for Wichita State is the one with the ball, Carla Bremaw. She has 6. Good defense in the lane by Irwin. Cut that off. Reed. Wouldn't go. "17-point lead for the Huskies. Dangerfield seeking 3 more.
Long layup hasn't seemed to bother Dangerfield.
Up to 15 points for Crystal.
3-5 from three-point range here tonight.
Reed drives on Irwin. Shot was short. There's Megan Walker with the ball.
Really good D by Irwin.
And Walker on the great feed into the lane. Timeout, Wichita State.
Dangerfield in a great groove right now. I mean, Alan, she's making such good decisions with the basketball. There, the nice skip pass, and Dangerfield knew that her defender was far away from her. Skip pass, so dangerous for a defense.
I mentioned Crystal had 22 and 19 points in each of the last 2 games. She's up to 15 now, and we're not even to halftime yet.
Look at that. The two of them have combined to almost double up Wichita State. But, you know, Dangerfield, she's only credited with 1 assist, but Megan Walker's got 4 assists.
Yeah.
So they're involved in a lot.
They had a wrestling event in the building here the other night. I think that's a good tag team. Walker, Dangerfield?
Absolutely.
Yes. It is so far tonight. Definitely frustrating Keitha Adams and the Wichita State Shockers.
Well, you know, Adams knows her team is young. I mean, they're not as young as they were last year. All those freshmen are now sophomores getting good minutes, but they're coming into a buzzsaw here.
Good long roll by Maya Brewer to get over the top of a stretched out Olivia Nelson-Adota. A 20-point lead for UConn as we come down to 2.5 minutes to go in this half. Kristen Williams, back iron. Aston with the rebound and the run, tries to go all the way and will get called for the offensive foul.
So while Kristen Williams may be frustrated that she's only got 1 point, she's 0 of 6 from the floor. But you know what? Great charge that she just took right there. Those are the ways that you can have an impact. Make a smart play. She got herself in position, and doing it right in front of your coach, in front of the bench, doesn't hurt either.
Now 4 Shockers with 2 fouls, shy of halftime. Here's a steal. Run out from Shyla Smith. She'll take it coast to coast. And the bucket for the sophomore. From the corner where Oklahoma meets Arkansas and Texas. Idabel, Oklahoma, her hometown. Nelson-Adota. Ended by Prince, feeds Dangerfield. There's Irwin. Dangerfield with a wild right-hander. I thought that was going to go for a second. But she will draw the contact and the foul. Minute 35 away from halftime. Gary Apple and Kara Walters have the first half highlights and analysis, plus hear from Crystal Dangerfield on the keys to her vision on the court on the UConn Women's Basketball Halftime Show that is presented by Ford. And part of the vision tonight has been the range from long range for Crystal. 3 of 5 from outside, 6 of 8 from the floor, and she is here at the free throw line for the first time this evening. Montserrat back in, and Irwin out. And Dangerfield adds to the total.
Interesting. Dangerfield only had 14 free throw attempts coming into this game. Dribble penetration is not as much a part of her game this year.
UConn doesn't foul at all. They commit the fewest amount of fouls in the nation. They also don't get fouled a lot.
That could be due to that lack of cutting and movement that Gino talks about on offense.
Carla Brimoff, nice left-handed runner. Brimoff 8 points, 3 of 6 from the floor, 2 of 2 from 3, and 3 rebounds as Kristen Williams drops another one in.
Incredible focus by Williams. I thought there was going to be much more physical contact than there was. on that drive, but great concentration.
You also saw Bremaw turn away quickly because she's got 2 fouls. And you don't want to pick up a 3rd foul in the last minute of the half.
Absolutely not.
Aston runs between 2 to Bremaw from 3. Got it. Carla Bremaw carrying the play for the Shockers here in this last minute of the opening half.
And let's not forget, last year when these two teams played, she was the only player to have 15 points in that matchup. So she likes playing the Huskies.
Yeah, only player to get into double figures in the whole game for the Shockers. So 10 to go. Shot clock off. Dangerfield works to Nelson Adota's screen and a soft touch. And that's it on the half. Well, who'd have known that Wichita State started off this game with an 8-1 lead, but the Huskies went on a tear in that latter part of quarter number 1, and it leads them to a lead of 19 at halftime.
Really good decision there. She came off that screen, and that was just pure athleticism by the senior.
All right, let's hear from Coach Chino with Marina.
Coach, it's good to have you back. What did your team start doing well to overcome that slow start?
You know, sometimes the ball doesn't go in the basket, you know, and you just got to try to pick up your defensive intensity a little bit, try to create a couple of things in transition, which we did. We probably missed about 10 layups, you know, with people, you know. So if we could just finish the plays that we're making, you know, our defense isn't bad. I mean, you hold somebody at 26 points. So I thought the second quarter, you know, once we got our offense rolling, I thought, you know, it looked pretty good. And, you know, Crystal Dangerfield's been unbelievable. So we keep riding her the whole second half.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Alan, back to you.
All right, Maria, thanks. Our halftime interview with Chino presented by PC Richard & Son. So the Huskies overcoming the slow start and racing out to a 19-point lead led by Crystal Dangerfield with 19. It's 45-26 at the half, and the halftime show is coming up after this. 2 quarters down, 2 to go in tonight's matchup between the #1 ranked UConn Huskies and the Wichita State Shockers in the American Conference. Back inside the XL Center, Alan Bestwick, Megan Como. Game that, as we mentioned, UConn started slowly, then raced out to what is now a 19-point lead. Meg, what stood out to you from that turnaround?
Well, certainly Crystal Dangerfield. I thought early on she was quiet, but I thought she played really well. I mean, Olivia Nelson-Adota had some good plays, but Walker was just spectacular. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier. Watch this. See here. Nice post up there by Nelson-Adota, but watch. The defense is coming over on the high side. So, what does the smart senior Crystal Dangerfield do? She skip passes it because she knows what's going to happen as she makes that long pass. Watch here. She's flashing to the ball with the defense on her back. Okay, then the ball comes in. Defense on her back. Boom. Layup. Really good offense, great leadership by Dangerfield. Good hustle in that low post. Now, more leadership. Watch here, okay? 2 defenders, what are you doing? You're not going to help your team. Wisely, Dangerfield sees what's happening, and she sees Walker's going to be wide open. Perfect placement of that pass by Dangerfield to Walker. The 2 of them have played tremendously for Gina Auriemma.
Back to that court vision that Gary and Kara were just talking about. Crystal Dangerfield. So Dangerfield and Megan Walker leading the way for the Huskies. Crystal with 19 points. Megan with 15. And I guess 2 of the numbers that stood out for me in that first half. UConn only committing 1 foul in the half. Wichita State committing 12. So 5 players start this second half for the Shockers with 2 fouls. There's Bremaw looking to make some ground, and Nelson-Adota with the block. That's some pretty good noise for a Tuesday night, for a Thursday night rather. I know with the holidays falling in the middle of the week, everybody's confused what day it is.
I have no idea what day it's been. What year are we?
5 to shoot inside to Nelson-Adota. Nice flip to get it around Bremaw's defense.
And how about the pass from Kristen Williams? Terrific bounce pass.
Seraphine Baston leads the Wichita State attack. Inside, Raven Prince tries to go up and under, does not draw the foul. Huskies run. Williams straight into Bremaw, did not draw the foul there, but draws the foul on her second attempt.
Well, how about this? Nice job defensively to take that away, but the good players, it's the first, the second option. Okay, so Nelson Adota kept working in that low post. Williams did the right thing and found her.
Third foul on Seraphine Baston for Wichita State, their floor general, so that's 3. And we're just underway in this third quarter. Talked about Kristen Williams struggling for points tonight. 1 of 7 from the floor, but up to 4 now after the free throws. And the defensive poke away there. Shockers regain possession.
Yeah, Williams active in so many different ways tonight. A lot has been on the defensive end and offensively distributing the ball.
Here's Mariah McCulley with the ball. 2 for the Shockers. Drives, knocked away. Good reach from Dangerfield to get the ball. Walker slows it down. Irwin tries to get it inside to Nelson Adota. McCulley was active on the defense, knocked it away, but it stays with UConn with 17 to shoot.
Well, Irwin tried to do the right thing and get out behind that three-point line to get that ball, to create the space to pass the ball inside to Nelson Adota. It was guarded well by Wichita State.
Going to call Olivia on a foul on a moving screen.
I mean, it was an aggressive screen, which I'm a fan of, but you can't move your feet, nor can you move your upper body to initiate that contact.
Her first foul of the night, just 2 all game long so far for the Huskies. Aston drives on Irwin off the screen, feeds outside. Shot goes from the far corner. That was Shia Smith with the 3.
Well, it was a terrific drive and kick from Baston out to Smith.
Huskies lucky to get that one back on the aggressive defense. Megan Walker, unstoppable.
That's a scoring mentality.
17 on the night for Megan. Her average on the season so far is 21. Scored 29 against Seton Hall as her season high. Smith with a good feed to McCulley, who buries the 3.
Nice spacing there by McCulley to put herself in that corner. UConn had made some pretty good defensive stops in that possession. The Shockers made one more good play, though.
Nelson Adota tries to feed to Megan, who tripped over Bremaw going into on the cut, and the ball is turned over.
She was open too, but how about this penetration? Bremaw just couldn't stay with her. And nice job avoiding the help. McCulley's got to get another step or 2 across the middle of that lane to take that charge.
10th turnover of the game for the Huskies. Anna Macarat into the game. Kyla Irwin out. Bremaw, no. Rebound, Dangerfield. Beats Walker on the run.
Gino's screaming, get open, and that's the problem. They just get caught standing around. Now they're moving.
Wichita State is very active. That's going to be another foul on Nelson Adota on the reach over, trying to get the rebound. That'll be her second now.
Yeah, her second foul. You can see Gino irritated on the bench because a bad shot by Walker leads to an over-the-back call against Nelson Adota.
Well, the point I was starting to make when the foul happened, Wichita State is very quick. They're very aggressive with the defense as Baston will draw the foul going to the bucket. That will be Kristen Williams who will pick up the hat.
Yeah, and, you know, Keith Adams, her team, she told us, you know, they love to pressure, be aggressive. Where they've struggled is taking care of the basketball, which they've done a marginal job here of that tonight, but they've got to sustain it for 40 minutes has been their big key as well.
For a limited time only, buy one, get one free when you purchase a $10 ticket to a UConn women's basketball game. Get a ticket to the game against Team USA for free. More details at UConnHuskies.com. How about you? But that sounds like a good deal to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good ball movement on a Makarat. Too strong. Missed everything off of Megan Walker.
Gino's reaction, you know, has something to do with her being back in Poland. I'm just going to say.
She got kind of the long stare.
This is when she feigns knowing English. We didn't want to hear what he has to say.
Nelson Adona with the block as McCulley drove the lane. So, a couple of things as we watch the SWAT.
Yeah, it's terrific. You know, that's just good team defense by Nelson Adona, knowing where the ball is and getting there to block it.
Baston. That's a good reaching right-hander to get around the length of Nelson Adona.
I tell you what, a terrific play by Baston at 5'8" to get that ball off.
Good ball movement to break the press. And Nelson Adona with the put-in.
Good pass from Kristen Williams.
So when UConn has tried to get the ball into Olivia in the paint, the positioning defense by Wichita State has been very aggressive. They haven't been afraid to jostle her around. Go straight up on that one.
Yeah, another nice block. So UConn has to read the defense and react accordingly.
Oh, what a pass from Megan Walker to Kristen Williams.
Walker proving that she has such a complete game this year.
And at the other end, they're trying, it looks to me like they're trying to drive at Olivia and see if they can draw some more fouls.
She's being smart.
Makarat feeds Williams. Gets it back. Drives. Gets knocked out of bounds and will draw the foul. That foul will be on Raven Prince. Ball movement. And a nice finish for Kristen Williams. Timeout, 4:20 to go third. Alan Bestwick, Megan Como, Maria Marino at the XL Center in Hartford for the first game of the 2020 portion of the season. Gino Auriemma back on the sideline as well for the Huskies after missing the last game due to his surgery for diverticulitis. Gino watching his team come from trailing by 9 to leading by as many as 22, 18 now. And a foul as Megan Walker tried to go to the bucket.
UConn dominating in the paint.
Points in the paint presented by Rings End.
Dominating thus far, although right now it's 10-9. Wichita State is leading them in this quarter. And this goes to the consistency that Gino Auriemma has complained about a bit this year. And if UConn wants to keep themselves and their coach happy, they have to step it up. Even though they have the lead, you have to continue to play the same way, regardless of the score.
Total grows for Megan Walker. Walker and Dangerfield 19 apiece. Alabrimo, leading scorer for Wichita State, has 13. 4 to go, third quarter. Huskies lead by 20. Eight to shoot. Baston lost the handle. Williams with the steal. And the feed to Makarat. Tried to feed Megan Walker. And that ball's going to be tied up as Shia Smith got in there with Walker after the missed shot.
Looked like she passed the ball to herself. Megan Walker shot it. I didn't think it hit anything. And then she caught it. But I think he'd rather
I'm just
be
trying
getting surgery, then watch that.
you know how to interpret these things better than I am. I'm just trying to figure out what the stare was about. Was that the stare?
It was just a bad offensive sequence.
At the sequence, the stare at the official.
I think it was the play.
Quick hands with Nelson Adota as we check in with Maria.
Hey, Alan. Well, I wanted to follow up about associate head coach Chris Daly. She is 10-0 coaching in Gino's absence. Of course, she coached in the win over Oklahoma. And I asked Gino what kind of asset she is. He said she is organized, smart, good at preparing. He also complimented her temperament, described her as not emotional, and said the team responds well to her.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, CD, every day in practice, she's like a machine. She just goes to work every day and has her goals, and she accomplishes them, which is why the post players at UConn get better year after year after year, because she's relentless in the way she teaches.
Going to call Nelson Adota for the reach over. That's going to be her third foul. I watched during practice earlier today the shoot-around, the game day shoot-around the Huskies had. Before it started, Chris Daly was down the court to what would be our right as you look at it on camera, working with the forwards and Nelson Adota and Adebayo and so on, while Shea Ralph was to our left, working along with Jasmine Lister with the guards. And they did that for some time, and Chris was very demanding about technique.
Absolutely, she is. Demanding is a good word for her. And speaking of demanding, UConn's defense just caused a 5-second violation. Wichita State could not inbound the ball. Good defense.
So Nelson Adota goes to the bench with the third foul. Molly Bent is into the game. Makarat, Dangerfield, 10 to shoot. Crystal drives and dishes. And a foul is going to be called. Push in the back.
Really good movement, I thought, that possession by UConn.
That was on Asia Henderson. Foul was called on. Shot clock sets to 20 as the Huskies inbound.
So there you got to get the ball to the wing, and then Walker can post up down low.
And to Makarat, to Walker. Wow.
Walker, what a pass.
Not often you could say the Huskies playing perhaps at a slight height disadvantage this season, but with Nelson Adota on the bench, a couple of players with some size on the floor, comparative size for Wichita State.
How about that? She knew she was dishing that ball down to Walker before she even caught it. You see how quickly she released it? Great passers like Makarat know before they catch the ball what they're going to do with it.
Maya Brewer shooting free throws after Megan Walker ticketed for the foul. That was her first foul of the game. And a couple made at the charity stripe for the Shockers. 22 is the lead for the Huskies as we wind down to 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. I'm interested to see this different lineup combination for the Huskies and how they might fare over these next few minutes as Kristen Williams draws the contact and the foul. The Huskies right into the thick of it. We're right back with you on Sunday from Dallas at SMU at Moody Coliseum. Our next UConn women's game on SNY. It's the Mustangs and the Huskies. We start with the pregame show at 3:30 on Sunday, only on SNY. George W. Bush Presidential Library right next door to Moody Coliseum down there at SMU.
It's a beautiful campus.
It is.
And I'm hoping a little warmer.
Can be, yes. Minute and a half to go. Brewer, too strong. Look at Crystal Dangerfield. Sky in for the rebound.
She didn't look 5'5" on that rebound, did she?
things Gino said to us today. Offensive foul coming on the screen. Megan Walker is going to pick up another. One of the things he said to us when we talked about consistency is that when you have different players in the lineup together, not just your starting five, they have to produce to the same level as the starting five in order for you to show those consistent results.
Right, and there's a lineup out here right now that doesn't lead to real fluid offense.
But it's one of those things that as you go through playing 20 games in 61 days, and people get banged up, and you play different types and different style of teams.
Yeah, that foul was on Brewer, number 21. Yep. All I saw was her right arm flail out, checking somebody.
And she will take a seat on the bench, Will Brewer. And Mariah McCulley will come back into the game for the Shockers. So Prince, Brewer, and Baston all with 3 fouls for Wichita State. A minute shy of the end of the third quarter. We're going to call Megan Walker on a travel.
Wow. How about that? They haven't called anything all game. I think they just don't want the game to end, the officials. They're going to keep us here longer.
McCulley with the feed underneath, and Henderson will draw the contact as she tried to go up with the ball. Molly Bent will pick up the foul for the Huskies.
Well, maybe we gave it the kiss of death by saying how fast the game was being played.
Well, the Shockers play, as I mentioned earlier in the first half, play in games where they draw a lot of fouls and they commit a lot of fouls. So to their credit, and to Keith Adams' credit, the energy her team has come out with in the second half, it's kind of drawn the Huskies a little bit into some of that organized chaos.
Yeah, and this is what we've talked about a couple times here tonight, that UConn mentally has to stay focused regardless of the score and play the game the same way. As the great Husky teams over the years, they played the game the same way regardless of the score and how much they were up by.
So Megan Walker to the bench with a minute to go in this third quarter after picking up another foul.
But you gotta learn somehow, and you gotta get your bumps and fight through it and improve.
And the shoot. Unfriendly roll. Irwin intercepts the errant pass as Ashley Reed tried to drive the lane. Dangerfield, Williams, nice save. Shot came up a touch short. And time will expire on quarter number 3. 22-point lead for the Huskies on Gino Auriemma's return to the sidelines. Number 1 UConn in command. And tonight's game reset presented by Town Fair Tire as we get set for the fourth quarter. Carla Bremall, one of 2 scorers in double figures for the visitors, Wichita State. Megan Walker and Crystal Dangerfield leading the way for the UConn Huskies, who trailed in this game by 8 points at the start. And the largest lead in this one has been 24 for the Huskies. UConn with the ball to start the fourth quarter at a 61-39 lead.
I would expect UConn to run offense with a little better efficiency right now after that timeout.
Waved off offensive foul on Kristen Williams, and you come to that opinion because?
I could tell he was not happy here. You got to give credit to Wichita State and Ashley Reed for stepping in, coming over from that weak side, getting her feet outside the lane and taking the charge. But I knew Gino wasn't happy with how they played. They just looked sloppy.
Blocked by Megan Walker as Danielson tried to go up for the shot. Nelson Adota back in the ball game. Ball will get knocked out of bounds as they attempted to inbound into the lane to her. UConn will have it with 23 to shoot. Baccarat in for Kyla Irwin to complete the top 5, and Megan Walker's going to pick up a foul there as a bad inbounds pass leads to that. That'll be 3 on Megan. That'll be one of the season highs that she does not wish to commit tonight.
And I'm pretty sure there will never be another 5-day break over a Christmas holiday again, ever in the history of UConn basketball.
McCulley off the glass for 3. Mariah McCulley, leading scorer for the Shockers coming into the ball game. That's her 8th points of the night.
And I love it. That was just her 3rd 3, right, of the game, and she only had 8 coming into the game.
Foul going to be called there, I think.
Shia
Is that
Smith.
called on Shia Smith?
Yeah. I think just a little aggressive with her screen on the ball.
Well, the Shockers are energetic on defense. You could say that.
They play hard.
They're aggressive.
And they, the problem is UConn, they don't cut as hard because every time they cut, they get bumped. Oh, nice hand in the passing lane.
Reed with the steal. And the score and the foul. Megan Walker is going to pick up number 4.
I would be surprised if she stayed in the game right now. And she just said, that's my fault. I mean, she didn't mean to foul the kid, but she knows it wasn't a smart play. And it started by a bad, lazy pass on that end, and then you compound it by committing a foul on the other end. And Reed even turned over her shoulder to look and see if she was coming. Good concentration by Reed, knowing she was going to get fouled.
Nobody at the scorer's table. So Gino going to let Megan try and play through it. Maybe one of those you made this situation.
Yeah.
Now you're going to have to deal with it.
She's an upperclassman.
Williams defended hard. Shia Smith all over her. Here's the steal by McCulley. And the basket for Wichita State.
You notice it's all one-on-one. There's no cutting. And listen, give Wichita State credit. Give McCulley credit.
Well, the Shockers on a little bit of a run here to start this 4th quarter. Mariah McCulley, their leading scorer, with the steal and the score. Timeout. Timeout UConn, as Wichita State's gone on a little bit of a run to cut the lead to 14. Gino Auriemma looking, just say less than pleased as the huddle went on there.
If it's possible to have veins in the back of your head seen through your hair, I can see them.
Yeah,
Not happy.
Some sloppy play by the Huskies in this last segment of game. And Megan Walker still on the floor with 4 fouls. Olivia Nelson-Ododa with 3. And Wichita State maybe feeling a little bit of energy from being able to frustrate the Huskies some in this last stretch of game.
Yeah, a little confidence, too. They got a pep in their step. Like, look where Makarat caught the ball, 40 feet from the basket.
Dangerfield off the Nelson-Ododa screen. Olivia with the rebound.
Early in the game, Williams would have shot that ball. But thought better of it, saying, let's run some offense here.
Megan Walker with 8 to shoot, front iron. Here's Mariah McCulley. Trying to go end-to-end. Knows she had Walker defending with 4 fouls and gets the bucket.
And also playing with a ton of confidence herself.
She does not lack that. Keitha Adams told us that she's had her eye on McCulley for a couple of years now. Finally, she's got her on the Shocker roster. She's been a find for them. There's Crystal. No. Nelson-Ododa using the length to advantage with the putback.
Good effort on the offensive boards. Sometimes when things aren't going well, you just have to go old school and get the offensive rebound and putback.
Keitha Adams laying into one of her players as well as the Shockers call timeout. Olivia Nelson-Ododa making her 6'5" presence felt in the paint for the Huskies. 7:02 to go in the ball game here in Hartford, and the reason for the UConn bench's frustration shows up there in that score by quarters. Wichita State outgunning the Huskies 10-2 in this final quarter.
Yeah, and four turnovers will give you 2 points for the quarter. And you have to give, as I mentioned before, a lot of credit to Wichita State. They've stepped it up. They haven't given up. UConn playing sloppy, but some of it is a result of what Wichita State is doing.
The pressure and the aggressiveness that the Shockers have shown. Ball through the hands of Curvin, but turned right back over to Curvin. She'll stop and pop.
And Curvin gave up the offensive rebound the previous possession to Nelson Udota, and Coach Keitha Adams was all over her as the timeout. As we went to break, it was interesting to watch. She has more expectations for her.
A turnover by the Huskies. McCulley going to get the foul as she goes to the floor underneath the basket.
Yeah, the previous.
And that is going to be it for Megan Walker.
I guess it's kind of fitting.
So Walker is done for the night with 21 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 fouls. And we'll take a seat left with 6:20 left in the ballgame. Aubrey Griffin comes in.
And one of the ways that you mature and grow as a player is that you have to hold it together. There was a previous turnover. You know, when things are going wrong, now it's kind of a bad call, but when things are going wrong as a leader on this team, you have to step up and change the complexion of the game for the better for your team. And Walker struggled with that, but in fairness to her, this is one of the first opportunities I've seen. She'll learn from this.
Kristen Williams will draw the contact on the way to the bucket. These fans here at XL Center trying to give their team a boost here as they've seen this lead drop from what was as high as 22 down to 10.
Nice little hesitation, get the defense on their heels to draw that foul.
And let me correct myself, the largest lead was 24, and it's down to 10. As the Huskies have really gone cold in this fourth quarter. So here's Kristen Williams.
This is reminiscent of that DePaul game in Chicago a couple weeks ago. UConn had a huge lead.
And what were the similarities? The chaotic style of the opponent.
Yeah.
It stands out to me.
DePaul did it with threes. They had a 26-point lead at the half. DePaul closed it to 4 in the fourth quarter.
McCulley way off the mark.
And puts her hand in her mouth like, oops, I shouldn't have done that.
She was feeling it. Nelson Udota looking to spin free, aggressively defended. Williams drives, can't get the ball to fall, but she will draw a foul.
That's sort of been indicative of the way that a lot of the game has gone for the Huskies. And I'm talking about the ball going in and out, but nice hesitation yet again. Second play in a row, drawing the foul by Kristen Williams.
Ashley Curvin picks up the foul for the Shockers. That's her third. Shockers have 5 players with 3 fouls.
They obviously have a much deeper bench than UConn.
So Kristen Williams from the free throw stripe doing the damage for UConn here in these last couple of minutes of game time. And the lead is 13 for the Huskies.
Some games you just got to take whatever's given.
McCulley drives between Nelson Udota and Dangerfield. Ball will go off. It looks like Curvin and out of bounds and be turned over to UConn.
Well, as I mentioned before, Keitha Adams gave Curvin an earful a few moments ago. She did a better job going in for that offensive rebound.
There's Aubrey Griffin. Haven't called her name much all night. She hasn't seen a lot of time on the floor in this one. Dangerfield. Nope. Offensive rebound. Williams back up and in.
Kristen Williams very active these last few possessions. It's hard to fault Dangerfield's shot on that possession. She launched a bunch of them, and Gino said we're going to ride her in the second quarter, or rather second half.
Reed, the inside feed, nice reverse and in. As McCulley continues to be the shining star for the Shockers. That's 16 points for her now to lead the way for Wichita State. Williams.
I mean, she's been so quiet all game and is stepping up at exactly the right time for UConn.
5 of 12 from the floor for Kristen tonight, up to 16 points now. She's got 6 from the free throw line. McCulley drives. Nelson Adota gets a hand up.
Great active hands.
McCulley very slow to come back up the floor after that spill. And as they try to get the ball into Nelson Adota, Olivia will draw the foul.
Good footwork, good patience. Good job keeping her hands in the air. The ball was kind of a tough pass coming into her. And that's where Aubrey Griffin, the freshman, has to give her center a second to post up, give her a minute, and by a minute I mean a second and a half. Let her gather herself and then throw the ball in.
Mariah McCulley will go to the bench after that spill to the floor for the Shockers. 16 points in 26 minutes tonight for McCulley. Shot too strong. Shockers come up with it. 16-point lead for the Huskies as we go under 4 minutes to go in this ball game. UConn looking to remain perfect on the season and perfect in conference play as they look now into the heart of their 7th season and final season in the American. Remaw defended by Griffin. Works away around the screen, contests the shot. Off the mark, offensive rebound. Brewer misses, trying to go up and in. Nelson Adota gets the rebound for UConn. Dangerfield settles it down.
The Shockers were all over that offensive glass.
Gino calling out a play. Nelson Adota sets the screen for Dangerfield, who drains the three.
Made great big shots in that first half.
22 for Crystal, now leading scorer in the ball game.
That's probably the biggest shot she made of the game.
Brewer runs into trouble, trying to drive the lane. Makarat with the beautiful feed. Crystal Dangerfield hits out of Makarat in the lane, and a timeout taken by Wichita State. Huskies have found their footing again, and the lead goes back up to 21.
Terrific play by Crystal Dangerfield, huh?
Oh. That was what we heard from her about at halftime.
Yeah.
About her court vision.
How about that pass? Knowing that she was going to get it to Makarat. And a nice finish by the freshman. In traffic on the run. Outstanding.
I think that's good enough to be our drive of the game. Presented by Nissan. Anna Makarat running, did her part on that, on the run out. And Crystal Dangerfield certainly, if this were a hockey game. And it might as well be because the ice is under the floor here, and I think my feet are frozen.
Mine are.
Crystal would be our #1 star tonight. Immediately after the game, Gary and Kara will have a full recap. Plus, we'll get Gino's post-game news conference on the UConn women's basketball post-game show presented by People's United Bank. Combining the form Gino was in when we talked with him pregame with some of the action of this fourth quarter. That post-game press conference should be.
He won't be in as good a mood as he was today at shoot-around, that's for sure.
Should be interesting to hear. Now, one of the things Gino said to us earlier, he talked about, the pressure on this team. Everybody looks, you didn't win by 30. Wasn't a good night. And he said, look, a win's a win. And we have to take that pressure off our kids.
And
but the level of performance that dropped off for the majority of this fourth quarter before the Huskies picked it back up again will be concerning.
It's the way you play. It's the way you are on offense. It's the way you rebound on the defensive end. It's the silly fouls you commit because you're not in the right position. Those are the kinds of things that makes them crazy.
I want you to watch if 3 for Wichita State and 24 for UConn get matched up against each other. Both players from Poland. Makarot there right now defending Danielson. Reed tried to force feed it inside. She hit it right into the hands of Aubrey Griffin, and a shot clock violation will ring out. 3 for Wichita State is Natalia Ring. She is from a very close part of Poland to where Anna Makarot is from. When we talked with Keitha Adams earlier, of course, the associate head coach, Eva Laskowska, for Wichita State is also from Poland. When we talked with Keitha Adams earlier about Makarot and Ring, and if there was a connection there, she kind of gave us this wry smile and said, yeah, we were trying to get Anna to come to Wichita State. So, yes, there was a connection there.
For sure.
There's Makarot for 3.
On cue. Figures a kid who's been struggling from three-point range is going to make it against the team that really wanted her to come there.
So the Huskies lead back up now to 24. Shockers had cut it to 10 at one point. There's Ring defended by Makarot. And Aubrey Griffin knocks the ball away from Asia Henderson out of bounds. Shockers ball 12 to shoot.
The freshman Griffin has had some really solid minutes here in this fourth quarter on both ends of the floor. But how about the athleticism? Jumping up, undersized. Going against the 6'3" Henderson.
And a big ovation as Crystal Dangerfield is lifted from the game. 22 points to lead the way for the Huskies tonight. 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Molly Bent into the game for UConn.
Well, Gino said it at halftime. You know, Crystal played so well, and she's pointing to her shoulder as she's got that physio tape on there, and she just complained that it's bothering her. That's the last thing Chris Daly or anybody wants is for Dangerfield to be sore. But she played so well in that first half.
Oh, yeah.
And went quiet for stretches in the second half, but came up big in that this slumping fourth quarter and played great.
Nelson Adota also given the curtain call. Olivia heads to the bench with 13 points, 9 rebounds. And played with 3 fouls for a while, did Olivia. Shot off the mark on the free throw. Rebound goes to UConn. And what do we have? Shot clock was reset to 30 instead of 20 on the offensive miss, so they stopped play, straighten that out. 17 to shoot for the Huskies, and 1:09 to go in the ballgame. Edwin Adebayo into the ballgame with Nelson Adota's exit. Bent feeds Aubrey Griffin, runs into trouble, but finds an open player in Kristen Williams, who does not miss.
Kristen also has played well here in this fourth quarter.
So a minute to go in a ball game that saw UConn start out very slowly. An errant pass there picked off by Griffin. Then roar back in the second quarter as Makarot will commit the offensive foul. Then the Huskies with a solid third quarter, played even with Wichita State.
I'm not so sure about that one, but you know, Makarot, when I looked up at the clock and I saw her going in for that shot, I thought, well, I don't know if you need to do that at this stage of the game. Maybe that's why the foul was called against her.
Well, when you turn that shoulder in, you're probably going to get the call. As Ashley Kervin is fouled as she attempted to go up.
Fouled by Makarot.
I think that's going to be Anna Makarot who will pick up the foul. So just to kind of tidy up the story on the night, game effort for Keitha Adams and her team. They brought the energy, they brought the determination. At one point, they brought the Huskies offense to a halt.
To a grinding halt. Yes, they did. And then got a little bit going on the offensive end for themselves in the fourth quarter.
But for UConn, able to rally enough to get the job done. And the Huskies going to improve to 11-0 on this season, looking ahead to the game at SMU on Sunday. And then, of course, 1 week from tonight, the Baylor Bears are in town.
You can't go to sleep for long stretches like they did here tonight against a team like Baylor.
Bears ranked 6th in the nation right now, and that'll be the first of that very challenging schedule over the month of January and early February in non-conference play for the Huskies. That's a shot clock violation. Everybody is going to... No, that's the game clock. My bad. So the Huskies get the win. 83-55, a 96th consecutive home win for UConn, and now a 122nd consecutive win in play in the American Conference. One that parts of which they performed really well, and parts of which they'll want to go back and look at the tape on. And say, okay, we got some things we need to work.
The film of this fourth quarter will not be pretty.
Yeah. Our player of the game tonight, presented by People's United Bank, should be the senior leader, Crystal Dangerfield. She was hot from three-point range, and when UConn needed it most, got it done. And let's hear from the head coach. Maria is with Gino.
Coach, congrats are in order for the win, but some struggles in the second half. What did you see?
Yeah, a lot of struggles in the second half. I should have stayed in the hospital and let CD coach. They were better when she was coaching. You know, maybe some of it was a layoff. Maybe some of it was, you know, you get a big lead and you get a little bit complacent, you know. But yeah, that whole third quarter and most of the second half actually was not exactly the way I would want to play basketball. But you know, we got to build back up to where we were, you know, and we did a lot of really good things the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, and we'll take it and build on that.
How about the effort of your upperclassmen? How did you feel they anchored you?
Well, I thought Crystal was phenomenal, you know, pretty much the whole game. I thought Kristen Williams played an unbelievable game. I mean, she didn't make a lot of jump shots from the perimeter, but she rebounded the ball. I think she had 6 or 7 assists. Yeah, you know, we have a couple players that played really, really well, and it's just a matter of getting all 5 guys on the floor playing together.
Off to Dallas on Friday. What's the first order of business in terms of what you want to work on?
Well, obviously, you know, our defense hasn't been that bad, except I thought we gave up a lot of dribble penetration. But, you know, it's a constant struggle with this team to get into some kind of offensive flow, you know. So we'll have to go home and work on that.
Sounds good, Coach. Thank you.
All right.
We'll send it back to Alan.
All right, Maria, thank you. Good to see Gino back on the sideline. And we'll see Gino down in Dallas in a couple of days' time. Don't forget, we've got plenty more coverage coming up. Gary and Kara have a full recap of tonight's game, including Gino's post-game news conference. It's the UConn Women's Basketball post-game show presented by People's United Bank. That is on the way, as well as more from here at the XL Center. Crystal Dangerfield, Kristen Williams, 2 of the stars of the night for the UConn Huskies as they go to 11-0.